So 2025 started with a bunch of violent incidents across the country. One of them pretty close to home, or pretty close to a neighborhood I'm kind of familiar with. A mass shooting happened outside of Club Amazura in Jamaica, Queens, which injured about 10 people, including 6 young women and 4 young men. All of them were teenagers between the ages of 16 to 19. This all went down late Wednesday night around 11:20 p.m. on January 1st. Allegedly, the incident may have been gang related. The event that was taking place was to celebrate the birthday and life of a teenager by the name of Terrion Mongo, aka Lil Tay, a 16-year-old who was fatally shot out in Brooklyn by the Walt Whitman houses in Fort Greene last year on October 26, 2024. He would have turned 17 on Wednesday night, which is January 1st, obviously. According to sources, Mungo's family only invited about 120 people to the teen's memorial, but the club was at capacity with only 90 people only allowed on the second floor, which led to the spillover crowd out front with about 15 people waiting outside to get in. Now, according to witnesses, about 3 to 4 men who are about in their late teens to early 20s walked up to the crowd and just started firing random shots into the crowd of people outside the venue. Some people got hit in the leg, in the arm, in the back. There was surveillance video that showed the gunmen just wildly shooting at the crowd, ducking for cover, and then firing again before running off. Police said about 30 rounds were fired, according to witnesses, and about 3 to 4 men fled the scene in a gray Q50 Infiniti with red interior and jersey plates. They had jersey plates and they were seen fleeing the area heading towards Van Wyck Expressway. Now, all the victims that were outside that got injured, they had only non-life-threatening injuries, so they were taken to area hospitals for treatment. They weren't injured too bad. Now, Mayor Adams decided to chime in and said that this has no connection to any terrorism attack investigations elsewhere in the country. Now, y'all know what he's referring to, right? He's most likely talking about the truck driver that ran into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans on the same night. Now, that attack annihilated 14 people. That night, 14 people got killed in that incident, but the suspect, he was also pronounced dead after a shootout between him and police. So what could have caused that incident, we don't know. Allegedly, they claim it was ISIS terrorist. He had ISIS flag and so on and so forth. That's a whole nother topic. Now, Mayor Adams further stated that there is no room for this criminal behavior in our city, and we are determined to bring these dangerous individuals to justice and get illegal guns off our streets. Good luck with that. Now, even though the event was in honor of an alleged known gang member, none of the victims that were, shot outside were involved in they didn't have any criminal history, according to police sources. No arrests have been made, and the owners of the venue said they were working closely with police. Now, Club Amazura did put out a statement saying, "We are deeply saddened by the recent and unfortunate isolated incident that occurred. Our hearts go out to all those affected by this senseless act. We are working closely with law enforcement to ensure a thorough investigation and to help bring those responsible to justice." Again, good luck with that. Now, according to NBC New York, there was another separate shooting hours later after the Amazura event. This was around 8:30 in the morning on Park Avenue in Brooklyn. Now, that incident left another teenager unalived. A 17-year-old, was shot in the stomach. Now, police sources believe it might have also been related to the shooting that happened in Queens at Club Amazura, allegedly. Investigation is still in progress. So now here's some background story about Terrion. Now, back in October 26th of 2024, 16-year-old Terrion Mungo, he was gunned down and succumbed to his injuries in Fort Greene by the Walt Whitman houses near his home in Brooklyn. According to reports, Mungo was part of a spree of gun violence last year within the span of 5 consecutive days throughout New York City. That's terrible. Now, on Thursday, which is a few days before Mungo was unalived, a 16-year-old boy named Clarence Jones was mowed down in Harlem. Then the following day on Friday, another 15-year-old named Malachi DeBerry was also unalived in another shooting. That was out in Brownsville. Then Saturday, 16-year-old Terrion Mungo, he met his demise that Saturday in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. Then, ironically, Mungo's friend, Tristan Saunders, he was also shot to death the very next day on Sunday on his way home from Mungo's memorial service out in Crown Heights. Back to back, 2 friends back to back. Then later on, around Monday, another 18-year-old named Joshua Sparrow, he was also killed in another shooting incident out in the Bronx. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Anyways, they were all mowed down near areas known to be hotspots for shootings, flying bullets, and they were all assassinated within a half a mile of their known home addresses. So this was all around areas where they lived. So the area they lived at, hotspots, plenty of violence, a lot of shootings. Unfortunately, they were maybe caught up in, wrong place, wrong time. We don't know for sure. A lot of people don't really want to talk. People speculate. Police allege it's gang related. 5 days back to back, that's ridiculous. Now, according to Terrion's grandmother, now, she was distraught about everything. She said her and Terrion's father were at home. They heard the shots fired. They came outside and saw Terrion. They rushed him to Methodist Hospital out in Brooklyn, where he was pronounced dead, unfortunately. Now, she reminisced and said, Terrion, he was a great student. He was an excellent writer and storyteller. He loved to dance and sing. He loved watching basketball games because, he wanted to be a basketball player. As he got older, Terrion became more popular on the basketball court and was playing varsity basketball for his school team, the Warriors. Now, with his charm and demeanor, Tay was beloved in the Fort Greene community he grew up in. A lot of people turned out for his memorial that day, and then, of course, they had another memorial, the one at Club Amazura, on a separate occasion. He also had planned to pursue a career in the trades. He wanted to be an electrician eventually. But suddenly, Terrion may have had some secrets of his own that his family may or may not have known about. Now, according to police records, Mungo, who lived in the nearby Ingersoll houses, had 2 prior gun-related arrests. One, which is sealed, like it's not public for, the public to view, according to police sources. His most recent arrest came around 1:30 a.m. on June 16, 2024, when he was found in possession of a loaded handgun, one of them things that go bang, during a car stop, the sources said, quote-unquote, the sources said. Now, at that time, according to investigators, Terrion may have been affiliated with a local street gang known as the FNO, or the Fort Greene N-words only crew, and that the recent shooting spree may have been linked to the whole gang affiliation, allegedly. Allegedly, they love to throw gang related in everything, any type of shooting, but it could be plausible. It could be, in retaliation for something. Who knows? I mean, there was a shooting spree, 5 people, 5 teenagers at that, back to back, 5 days consecutively, all within the same heated hotspot area known for shootings. I mean, we shall see, as investigation is still in progress. Now, so far, unfortunately, there has been no arrest made in about 4 out of the 5 incidents. I believe there was one arrest in the very first incident, Clarence Jones. I think a suspect was arrested in that scenario, but the other incidents, including the recent Terrion incident, there has been no suspects arrested, and they're still at large. So, police, they want to know, if you know or see anything, call them up, let them know if there's an award. I didn't see if there's a reward for any information leading to an arrest, but we'll see. My thing is, this is like ridiculous. The violence is getting out of hand. A lot of times these teenagers are just looking for street cred. They want to earn the respect of their peers. But it's like, at the end of the day, is all of this BS amongst gang members worth your life? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times these teenagers, they have family. They may have grown up in a good household, but it's like they just want to prove something to their friends. You know what I'm saying? And it's disgusting to me. Like, you're still young. Like, some of y'all probably will never make it to my age. I'm not going to put my age out there, but I'm not no teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, is all of this really worth it? I mean, what do y'all think? It's like, is the gun violence afflicting our communities getting out of control? And do you think the politicians are doing enough to stifle the increase in violence amongst teens in the New York City streets? Obviously, that's pertaining to people who live in New York City, but it could be for any community, wherever you're living. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. And, that's it for now. I'm Annie. It was nice talking to y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.